stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to witness a showdown in Judge Anzalone's courtroom. The tension is palpable as we're introduced to Mr. Musgrove, a so-called sovereign citizen, and the audience is left wondering how far he will push his pseudo-legal arguments. The stakes are hinted at early, teasing a potentially lengthy prison sentence. This is where suspense is planted, and you can already feel that the courtroom isn't for the faint-hearted.
To the podium, please. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger-Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to.
Right from the bench, the drama intensifies as Musgrove claims he will represent himself, rejecting the counsel of a seasoned attorney. The judge remains unshaken, laying the foundation for a battle between legal reality and pseudo-legal bravado. The courtroom energy spikes as viewers wonder if his self-representation will survive scrutiny or collapse under pressure, setting up the next explosive moments.
Be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the court is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course,
none of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom.
The courtroom erupts with a clash of logic versus fantasy as the judge methodically dismantles Musgrove's all-caps legal claims. Every pseudo-legal argument is rejected, and the audience sees that there's no wiggle room for theatrics. This part is pure tension, showing that the courtroom demands respect for actual law, not personal interpretations. The stakes climb as viewers witness the futility of Musgrove's strategies.
So,
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger-Margosian is like most of our public defenders, except
The judge lays it down clearly. Attorneys are skilled, trained professionals whose advice is crucial. Musgrove's defiance is entertaining, but this segment is a masterclass in legal reality, demonstrating that competence matters more than theatrics. The suspense here comes from watching someone ignore sound legal guidance, teetering closer to jeopardizing their own freedom.
exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case. What is
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you.
Here, the focus sharpens as the judge highlights the real victim, a company harmed by Musgrove's alleged actions. The audience finally sees the consequences beyond courtroom talk. The embezzlement charges are explained, and tension mounts because this isn't abstract legal theory. The outcome will affect real lives. It's a pivotal moment that grounds the drama in reality and raises the stakes considerably.
We have budgets. The court system is not a profit-generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected, people who are victims of crimes are protected, and that's why we have
But in
all
order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim would
because
be the company. And the
you are
company,
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 50.
This is the peak of suspense. The judge breaks down the charges and potential sentences, up to 25 years stacked. The audience feels the weight of the law crashing down on Musgrove, whose theatrics no longer carry sway. Every second counts as viewers grasp the magnitude of the situation. This is the moment where tension is at its absolute highest, proving the courtroom isn't a stage for fantasies.
You're charged in count two with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes,
They
they
can.
can.
Chaos and comedy collide as Musgrove continues with his pseudo-legal interpretations, while the judge repeatedly shuts him down. The audience is torn between disbelief and fascination as the defendant wrestles with the reality of legal expertise. This segment is critical. He must finally decide whether to represent himself or accept counsel, showing how stubbornness can collide with unavoidable consequences.
I have $189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're
can.
going-
Yes,
They're
you
going
can be
by
charged.
everything,
You
all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're
Okay.
standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
right.
So do you want to represent yourself or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, I'm gonna set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing?
The hearing wraps up, but tension lingers as the judge schedules the next pretrial. Musgrove is left contemplating his choices while viewers are reminded of the real stakes. This closing leaves curiosity high, perfectly setting up anticipation for the next episode. And if you liked this courtroom breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.